When I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pounds. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. They can't take it to 10. Hey.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, I make pesos. Hit your sus, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot.
Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Green Bay Packers. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go. 10 Tucson, 53, Mike 53.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second down, a run with Breida. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Give him a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. Matt Breida, 79 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in Week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 33-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Looking to throw, and that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And boy, down a touchdown already, but they're going to line up to go for it on their side of the field.
Hey, tight down. There you go. Check 13. Check 13. Wall. Get wall. Wahoo.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this 1st quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Back to you. Check 99. He's coming. We got double up.
They'll try and throw for it here. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
Go! At their own 33-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Flush to his right. And his throw here's incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
Here we go. Here we go. Watch twist.
Mostert. Always got some breathing room. 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Raheem Mostert, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yep.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check safety.
They run with Breida. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on third down, Smith. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Set, ready. You're out. 6 yards. Alert 3. Alert 3.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Josh Reynolds that time. Third down here.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. It's complete to Graham. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's into the hands of Reynolds. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch, maybe you move some motion, maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Again, the offense will stay out there. They've converted once on this drive. What can they do here on 4th down? A great open field tackle is going to stop him shy of the goal line. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And let's pin the mirror.
Throwing on second down, Smith. That's complete to John Ross. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 41-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Breida. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Mike 53. Stay with your man. Bang, 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 bang. 36, 36. Box trap.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike.
Let's get it together, defense. Lock.
Kill.
Now.
From the gun on third down, Smith. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have.
Check hot route. Hot.
On fourth down, Smith. Flushed out right. He's got his man. That's Hardman. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Here we go. 60 orange. Target. Check. Yep. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. I'm coming.
Hey, switch gears.
Check 37. Check.
On first down, here's Breida. Down to the 25. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
At the 25-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Bandit. 25. Check 25.
This is Breida. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
That's it.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken very short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
First down, Eagles.
Mike 50, huh? Watch the run. Hey,
This is Mostert. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Here's Mostert. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
First down, Eagles.
This quarterback now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Now Mostert. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They will run with Grant. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Corey Grant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Here we go. Set. 8, 3. Check the outs. Check the outs. Check the outs. Hey, Hayward. 24. Check 24. Protein spill. Slam. 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 What happened?
Now it's Breida. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That second down play nets a -4.
Second down, back at the 34-yard line.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. 61. Matchbox. Right. 50 orbit. You. Go. Ready.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He is going to find Hill here. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Now the extra point. And And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Packers 24, Eagles 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Minus 50. Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Back to throw here. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Brought in over the middle by Grant. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
And an Eagles first down.
Check. 2, 3.
Right back to him on first down. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
2nd and 9 now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And they give this time to the tailback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound, Brandon, no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
58 for Mike, 58. 58 for Mike. Let's go, Tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this. 58, right over there. Right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Go! Come on out here. Come get some. Come get ready. Go!
A shotgun snap for Smith. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mike, 55, right there in the middle.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll drop the throw. Try to set up the screen, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room. Extra point right down the middle.
They're all through now in that game in Tampa. And now that one really widening up. The Bucs have just scored again. A win would be their first of the young season. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to run now. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off with great anticipation. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the Packers, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.